Another day, another thought. Welcome all to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope everyone is doing well. As you guys know, I'm RJ here together with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
What's up, everyone?
Hey guys, thanks for everyone that's watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast.
Guys, just remember to follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook. If you like this show, press on the like button. If you like this rebroadcast, press it as well. It helps us with the algorithm and the recommendations. I mean, we're trying to spread the word,
The
the
gospel.
word. It's the gospel, the double thought gospel to more people. And also, you can help with that by subscribing. If this is your first time watching this show, just press on the subscribe button so you can be notified when we drop clips and new lives. So right now we have a new schedule going on. You can see it on top of our channel banner when we are going live. When the show streams are going live. Just to be, I'm gonna be. You have to be specific in details, otherwise people will say you're lying.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get the subscribers up, as we always say. I mean, it's going the right direction. We're seeing some more traction these days, but guys, press on it, man. Helps us. And last but not least, last but not least, like I said, spread the word. Spread the word to your friends. Share the video with your families. And as I always say, the most important of all, distract your enemies with our videos so you can. Where are you, man? You're too late. Yeah. You gotta
This is
work on the
this is the
timing,
second
Archie.
time. This
You
is the
gotta work
second
on
time.
the timing, bro. You gotta work on the timing. Anyway, well, it's all fun and games, guys, because as you know, as usual, Archie's gonna enlighten us that what I just did is just a game. Tell us, RJ.
Just a game, guys. As you know, KR is referring to our usual disclaimer. As you know, guys, we are, for the purpose of this show, here to provide entertainment. Remember that the views and opinions that are expressed in this show, especially those being expressed in the articles and videos that we share on this channel, do not necessarily reflect our own thoughts and opinions. So neither of this show, KR nor myself, everything we do here is for entertainment purposes only. Remember that viewer discretion is advised, and remember as well that every topic we talk about or every commentary is alleged. For the purpose of this show, we are no advice, no, we're not any kind of advisors. We're not life advisors, financial advisors, or any other kind of advisors. We're just here to provide entertainment. So if you require specific advice on particular areas in your life, we strongly urge you to seek out the advice and assistance of the respective professional in the fields in which you require assistance.
We don't know nothing, guys. We
Nada.
don't know nothing. We just read articles. Yo, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, technically not,
Yo,
but
yo,
anyway, guys,
we read them, we don't understand them.
no comprehension skills. Anyway, guys, I think it's time, as we always say.
Hora do show!
It's showtime. In today's show, we're going to discuss one guy that knows about a lot about liquor and about raps. A guy, a legend, a legend. By now, it's a legend. A Rastafari. Is he a Rastafari? I don't know. He has a Rasta though.
He might. I mean, if he
He
if
has a
he
Rasta.
Rastafari is the religion as well,
It's a
or the
relation,
lifestyle,
yeah.
right? So
It's the lifestyle. Okay, maybe he is, but he has a Rasta. Of course, you guys, as you can see, well, you've probably seen it already in the thumbnail and in the title. We're talking about Jay-Z.
oh,
Jay-Z. Jay-Z has closed a deal, a new deal. He's a
Deal.
deal closer.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
He's a deal closer. This latest deal he made was with Bacardi. And as the title of the show says, did Bacardi try to scam him initially in the deal? Or is it all, well,
Alleged.
allegedly scamming? Let's put it that way. Everything is alleged in this show. So, but what I wanted to say was, good thing Jay-Z is not treating this as a victim. He persevered and got a big deal out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if I look back, last week we had a couple of shows about people trying to sell you the victimhood mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, it's not always as you seem. Some people are selling you a dream. Well, they tried to sell Jay-Z a dream, but that didn't work, I guess. Good thing is he's wide awake. He's woke. Eyes wide open. Shout out to Jay-Z, man. Shout out to Jay-Z. But guys, all jokes aside, I think yeah, that's the show of today. We're going to talk about Jay-Z. I think we can start right away. So let's say, as usual,
Where do we begin?
so we will begin at the start. The start was somewhere in October last year. In October last year, Jay-Z decided to sue Bacardi for his stake. Because according to him, they were trying to lowball him.
So did Jay-Z really say that, KR?
Who? You mean the title?
Did Jay-Z really say it? Because I can't imagine him talking like that, but maybe he did.
Well, you know how TMZ people are, man.
Oh.
Allegedly. Yes, definitely allegedly. I'm gonna put definitely allegedly behind it. I know they sue people.
I was about to say I know how they are, very litigious.
Yeah, they are really strong in that
Yeah.
region. I mean, that was founded by a former lawyer. So
I wonder how it. Just a random thought, and then we can continue. But I wonder how the former employee that used to work at TMZ, you know, the one that went on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. I'm sometimes I really let's say every 2 months.
how did it? Yeah,
I think to myself, how did it end with him?
it didn't end to nowhere. As a company, sometimes you gotta let things go.
Yeah, well,
I think they thought he would reveal much more.
Yeah.
He stayed in the pocket like a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And
Well,
maybe yeah. Anyway,
well, like a quarterback with a good offensive line.
that's see, you're starting to understand the game. I see you're starting
Bit by bit.
You should be running. Anyway, running for your life. Well,
Shout out
Jay-Z
to Joe.
wasn't running.
Shout out to Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some people run for their life, someone stay in the pocket. Some people stay in the pocket. So yeah, as a let me go back. So basically they were trying to underpay him. He had 50% a 50-50 deal partnership with Bacardi for his cognac brand DUsse, or Ace of Spades, as it also is called. And basically, Jay-Z said that, let me go here. Jay-Z said that Bacardi was not giving him full financial clarity regarding the numbers. Could you imagine that, OJ?
Well, I can because it happens a lot actually. But what I can't imagine is the percentages that he played with. Because let's say in accounting, I do know that you have a lot of ways of evaluating a company. So there are different methods, right?
Different
You
ways
can
of
see the you can see what it's worth now. Just basically look at its assets and liabilities. You can see what it might be worth, projecting, etc. So there are a lot of ways, but the percentages that they try
even the
to
valuation.
even the
Because,
value, yeah,
because guys, initially they offered him 500 million for this 50% stake. 500 million. So that would put the valuation at 1 billion.
yeah,
Then he said, I don't trust this. The deal is going too easy.
yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
rule number one is the deal is going too easy. Someone is getting screwed. It's probably you. And ideally, you want to have a lose-lose situation in deals like this.
Yeah.
Well,
You
people
mean
call it win-win, but no one has to leave the table happy.
yeah,
Like, he got me.
yeah, yeah.
And you also say, he got me. Yeah, you got to always smile, of course.
Look, yeah. Look at how. So after the negotiation, guys, look at the facial expressions. If the person is too happy, shaking your hand, or if they're trying to close the deal as fast as possible. For example, you're talking and they don't say, "Okay, we'll discuss this with our accountant," or if they say, "Okay, we'll just draft the papers," and well, guys,
Ice Cube.
Straight ice
straight,
cube, guys.
straight out.
No Vaseline. When you hear that sound,
Ice Cube.
that means it's Vaseline. No Vaseline, actually. Straight ice cube, guys. Straight ice cube. That I mean, yeah. So I think you guys understand by now how a deal should go, at least in basic. I hope you do. It's also the same with your salary when you're negotiating it. So it's all negotiations, guys. It's all
Yeah.
negotiations. But yeah, so Jay-Z was basically saying, I have no insight in what the numbers are. But let's say if you're offering me 500 million, you're definitely lowballing me.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what he said, but probably what he thought.
Yeah.
He wanted to have some insights, and then he did what any good businessman would do. He turned the tool to them and asked them, I'm going to offer you 1.5 because in his idea, the valuation was 3 billion instead of 1. So he said, I'm going to offer you 1.5 for, by the way, it was even less than 500. They wanted to give
Yeah,
him
it was
460.
yeah.
Yo, this is disrespectful, man.
They,
Disrespectful. He
I
had
mean,
one choice. He had two choices to make. Either he takes it as a businessman and starts negotiating, or he goes in front of the store of Bacardi or the headquarters with a sign on it and BLM.
yeah.
He
I
chose-
know I know what the thumbnail or title of this clip should be.
Tell me.
Did DUsse try to Chappelle Jay-Z?
Oh man, I gotta use that. I gotta change that up. I'm gonna change that up. Definitely gonna use that. I'm gonna write it down. Give me a second. Can you take over for a second?
Yeah.
Calm down.
No, but guys, you see, and of course you wanna KaiR said that they didn't even round up the number to 500 million. But of course, if you round it up to 500 million, then it's too perfect of a number. So they thought, no, that we need to change it. But you need to make it more believable. But usually, what you would do is you would go over, right? I mean, let's say psychological pricing. If you tell me something is worth 490 versus
499.
510, I would go for the 510 earlier, but they were like, they couldn't even do that.
Yo, imagine they put their 499. Yo, that's total disrespect. If they're trying to sell you something,
Wow, dude.
499 million. You say like, am I a regular? Do you guys think I'm a regular consumer?
I'm not buying a stove.
I'm not selling my stove. But
I'm
yeah,
not
I
selling
mean,
my stove.
he counter offer. So because he thought the valuation was more around the 3 billion, he counter offered for their 50% at 1.5. And as you can expect, they told him to F up.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, if you tell me that the company is worth 920 million and you want to give me 50%, right? So you're telling me that 50% of the shares amount to 460 million. And I offer you, I say no, it's worth more. And I offered, so I tell you no, I'm not gonna sell my shares for that price. But what I will do is buy your 50% for 3 times
My valuation, your valuation.
your
Ah,
valuation.
yeah.
And you tell me no? There's a court case on its way, man.
As you should. And by going in, because I think the partnership started in 2012, so it's been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years. 10 years. Time to get out.
Yep.
But that's I mean, as a lawyer, RJ, you would say that's the logical follow up in a situation like this, right?
Logical referring to the court case or referring to?
Yeah. If you're
Yeah,
not,
I mean,
basically, if they're not handing over what you're asking in order to get a fair evaluation of what the numbers are, you will have to go to the
yeah,
you have to get the law involved.
yeah, indeed. That's always the case. Ideally, you want to solve as much as possible outside of court. Some people go to
Of
court.
course, it's cheaper.
Yeah, sure, cheaper. Don't hey, I'm telling you, don't underestimate the time and effort that goes into assignment, so doing work as a lawyer outside of court, because that can also amount to a significant amount of money. But indeed, when you cannot solve a problem, and that's in a democratic society, if you can solve a problem amicably outside of court, then you would need to initiate you would initiate court proceedings to basically force someone to cooperate. And why do you do that? That's very simple. But at its core, it's because everyone has, for example, certain fundamental rights, right? And a company is also, in the eyes of the law, if you are regarded as a legal entity or a legal person, like is the case in a LLC, so a limited liability company, then in the eyes of the law, you are a person, so you can actually do the same things as natural people can do legally, right? So you can sign contracts, etc., etc. But what Jay-Z was basically asking was to, and I'm going to say it in a way that's more straightforward so you guys can understand, break or infringe DUsse's fundamental right to privacy, because that's essentially what you're doing, right? Your DUsse has yeah. Why do you look at me like that? That's what you're doing.
Well, you're partial owner, right?
As a owner of you're the owner of so you have
Company.
shares.
Yeah, of the share. Yeah, you have
You have
50% share.
yeah,
I don't know if he has actually a board, a seat on the board.
a seat on the board. And one more thing, as a shareholder, you oftentimes you see the financial reports, but you don't see the transactions.
That's true.
So if you want to go deeper, you're diving deeper into the company, then basically you are infringing, let's say,
Okay.
certain lies. So that's what I meant to say. And that's the reason why you want to go to court, force to basically kick in the door and check
Wave
out,
the fofo.
yeah, and basically check out the financial history, transactions, etc. of the company.
Clear. Yeah, so he kicked in the door and waved the fofo, and
He got cooked. Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
Bacardi got cooked, or at least Bacardi got scared. I
Cardi,
would say scared. Maybe they were like, this ninja might be right. This ninja is trying to get us all hemmed up because the numbers are gonna be in the streets.
yeah.
If we that's something you have to like always keep in mind as a business. Because
continue.
I don't know if Bacardi is a private. Let's check it out.
That's what it's about to add.
Yeah, Bacardi Limited, the largest privately held spirits company. So
Nice.
you wouldn't want your numbers to be out in the streets for competitors to see how you're doing.
Nope.
It makes total sense. But yeah, it's and by the way, guys, this is not the first time. This is not the first rodeo of Jay-Z selling a spirits brand or alcohol brand. Not even 2 years ago, he sold his champagne brand, Armand de Briac, to MHLV, also known as Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton. Also, he sold the full 50%. They never disclosed the deal, but I would think it's also wrong around. At minimum, it's 350. I don't know how many bottles they're selling. Probably half a billion at minimum.
So Jay-Z is going liquid.
He's definitely going liquid, and I think we can talk about it later. What his goal will be? Why is he going liquid? But before we do as such, for you guys to understand this deal that was made by Jay-Z and Bacardi, the initial valuation was basically $1 billion by Bacardi. So 500 million, or it's less even, but let's say $1 billion to make it easy for for what I'm going to tell you. It's 1 billion, 500 million, 50-50. 500 million Jay-Z, 500 million for 500 million for Bacardi. Basically, they went to court. Bacardi saw that it didn't want to review all its numbers, so they settled on Jay-Z selling 25%, 25.01% of his stake to Bacardi for a total amount of $750 million. Big numbers,
Big bucks.
big bucks. So that would mean that Bacardi agreed on a $3 billion valuation.
Why do you say that?
Because if you sell 25% for 750 means that the 50% is 1.5 billion.
Billion. That's true.
So he tripled. This is how effective one case can be. And he didn't even proceed on it. He just knew that, he probably knew that if he would go, they wouldn't want the numbers to be open for everyone.
Yeah.
So he decided to go to the law in order to force him to accept the 3 billion valuation and then to sell only a part of his stake. Because 750 he sold it for, they are saying it's not, they haven't totally revealed the numbers, but it suggests they are suggesting a 750 million deal for that 25.01, which leaves Jay-Z with a bit less than 750 on his 25% stake.
Yeah.
Which he can also sell later on down the road, or he can still get and in the meanwhile he will of course get the dividends of that deal. So cash flow, baby.
Cash flow. Going liquid.
Going liquid and still keeping the cash flow going. So, like we said before, this is the second deal he made basically in 2 years, selling his Armand de Brignac for 50% to MHLV, and now 25% to Bacardi, which means that he has at least 1 billion in liquid right now, probably around 1 billion.
Yep.
In cash.
If you combine the two deals.
Two deals, yeah. I don't think they've sold that 50% of Brignac for less than 250. So that's a 750 plus 250. That's a billion. Probably it's more like 1.3, 1.4.
Something like that.
So
99.9.
Well, 99%. 99 problems. And Bacardi ain't one.
No.
But as I said, he sold that 25%, and that has been noticed by others on YouTube. Among them, the guys of Earn Your Leisure. They have a great thing going there.
Great channel. Great content.
Channel, great content. A lot of where can I find it though?
Wow, infotainment.
Yeah.
A lot of great infotainment, just like we have. I'm not saying we are them, but
I see what you did there.
Guys, this is what they had to say relating to this deal. Let me see if everything. Can you hear this?
I'm going to pick Apple and Microsoft every time, for sure.
So what's your thoughts on Bacardi settling with Jay-Z for $750 million? And what is this even about?
Jay had a couple issues. Y'all spoke. That's fine.
Say who?
Yeah. Putting it out there to the world. I think it was maybe 6 months ago where he wanted to see the books on a deal with DUsse. And I know I read a lot of the comments and people were saying, hey, he still owns part of it. I get that. But my first thought was, if opposed to going through the entire process of revealing books, all sales, and they agreed to pay out 750, how much do they really owe him?
Yeah. So what
They
he
really
wanted,
owe him $4 billion.
so he wanted to see the books, and this is how it's being reported. He wanted to see the books because he potentially wanted to sell his 50% stake in the company. And so Bacardi owns 50% of DUsse, and SC, I guess, Holdings or Liquors owns 50% of DUsse. And so he was interested in selling his 50% stake in it. The problem is the valuation was so low based on what Bacardi was saying.
Mhm.
And so when you tell me that the valuation is low, now I need to see the numbers.
Show me.
Show me the numbers.
Because he knows his value.
Right. He's saying like,
He's a 50x multiplier to anything he touches.
he says 3 billion.
Immediately.
I think they got some reports where they said they're worth 5 billion. And Bacardi's saying like, nah, it's worth 1.5. And so if it's worth 1.5 billion, your 50% stake is 750 million. That's what you're entitled to.
Yeah.
And so now I have to look at the book. So they went through litigation for like you said, 6 months. And it's like, he finally got to a point where they actually settled on Friday.
Yeah.
And the settlement was, rather than selling the 50% stake, he sold majority of his 50%.
Yeah.
And so technically that's like, he has a 24.9 at the maximum % stake of their company.
Yeah.
So now Bacardi's side, they're saying, all right, well, we're going to agree with that evaluation.
Okay.
So let's say they agree, and this is all alleged, we don't know the exact numbers. Let's say that they agree that it was 3 billion.
Yeah.
That's still a hefty like payout, right? Because he's
Still an amazing payout.
yeah, right. So that's almost a $1 billion transaction.
Yeah.
Based on selling that.
He says something there that I don't totally agree with before. No, he didn't sell. He said he yeah. He didn't sell said it by words, but he suggested that maybe he should have gone longer with the suit. Went through. Then he would have gotten the 5 billion.
Yeah.
But is that, I don't know if that's the best, if that's the best way to go about this. Because it also costs money to litigate.
So I would say it all depends on the reason why Jay-Z is going liquid as well, right? Maybe there's a timeline, maybe there's a deadline. Sometimes, because let's put it like this, Jay-Z probably blames the accountants. If it was Kanye, you know who he would blame. But
Why do you say that while I'm drinking, dude? You want me to? Yeah, anyway.
I often do that. I don't know if you realize, but I'm just trying. This is not the first time. This is perhaps the first time that you realize it. Yeah, but so it all depends on why he's going liquid. And sometimes, you know, when you're entering into business, you know about, you take a loss to keep pushing, but you take a calculated loss. Some people, you know, some people would say, well, I know you're gonna screw me over, but you don't need to step on me as well. So, okay, give me 750 and then I'll move.
Keep it pushing.
I'll keep it pushing. And then I get my money, and you can keep doing what you have to do. So it's not always, especially in cases like that, like this, if it's about the principle, then you're going to court, spend a lot of money, and at the end of the day, you still won't have a feeling, a good feeling like Flo Rida did. The feeling of Flo, the feeling that
the best win ever, guys. We had a clip about this. Let me pull that clip up, man.
Yeah, and as you're pulling the clip up, yeah. So just continue my thought. It's not always about getting everything you want, because it's sometimes you need to make a sacrifice. And perhaps DUsse or Bacardi also knew that Jay-Z has a plan and used that against him And so in cases
That's
like this,
negotiations, though. That's negotiation. You gotta know the driving force behind someone's
yeah,
reason for selling. Maybe they know more than everyone knows.
yeah,
I mean, people talk,
yeah.
lawyers talk. Maybe they don't tell everything, but
I'm not gonna say yeah to that, but what I will say, come on, man.
I'm trying to test you. See what
Yeah.
you say.
Yeah. So no. So the whole thing is it's always important to remember that oftentimes in negotiations is not about the principle. Some people, especially not in business, because if you're going to go to court for, so on principles, I can tell it's going to be a long case. You need to make business decisions as well. So if I know, it's just like if you know that someone has a $40,000 car, but he's moving and really needs to sell his car. He's moving tomorrow. Then you go there. I know people, and I think I'm not really comfortable with it, but as a way of doing business, I know people who said, "Yeah, okay, I'll buy it for 40," and on the day they presented with 30. And the
You gave
guy,
him too much info. I would say you gave him too much information up front.
Yeah,
What kind of information you're giving up front?
yeah,
Because that will always be used against you
yeah,
in the negotiations.
yeah. And the guy said, "Yeah, it was 40 yesterday, but I have 30. Do you want it or not?" And he flashed the cash. I think he added cash. And yeah,
Good thing he didn't flash anything else. That would be that would be a lawsuit. Give me the 30 while I sue you on the back end.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh man.
Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Yeah, I said it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's you got to know what kind of information you're giving up front. You sometimes when you're negotiating, you got to limit your amount of information you're giving to the other party,
Yeah.
and maybe they know I mean, by the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you're like you said, it's about the motive of Jay-Z. What is he going to do? Does he need the liquid cash right now? Is he in debt? Is he trying to buy something? We're going to talk about that later on in the show. They know about his motive to sell. And they also know that they don't want to reveal all the numbers in the open. So what do you do? And in addition also, is it worth it to spend 50 million in legal fees to get another minus cost, another 50 million on top of your valuation? Is it worth it? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the time as well. You're gonna be in court for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
You gotta weigh in the pros and cons in this case.
Yeah. And my suspicion, and this is based on nothing, guys. Nothing.
You don't know nothing over
I
here.
don't know anything. But perhaps yeah.
It's gonna say something wild.
So no. So so if you although it's not official, or at least as far as I'm aware of, it's not official. We are in a recession. Yeah, we're in bad financial times. And in bad financial times where people have financial problems, companies have financial problems, they need cash if they don't have liquid cash. And if you can solve their problems, you can, for example, buy shares for pennies on the dollar. So if you know a company needs cash, they need or maybe a shareholder needs cash, right? And you will present, so you can just come and say, okay, well, how much is your shares? Are your shares worth? Okay, $100 per share. Well, I have the money you want, but I
You skipped a step.
Okay.
You gotta
Tell me.
get the information about the company, so you know what they would accept. You gotta
Yeah,
show information, of course.
yeah. But but I mean that goes without saying. I mean, you're not going to just
Pop up on the
put
front.
money. Yeah. But so then you can get, or maybe you can get houses. Real estate houses on foreclosure, or apartment
Mm,
complexes, buildings
mm.
on foreclosure. So
BlackRock is selling everything. I heard.
yeah. So allegedly, you heard
No,
they. So yeah, guys. I'm the lawyer, so I use allegedly, even if I know
really,
something to
really.
be true.
You're
No,
saying,
not willy nilly. Even if I know something to be true, because
okay.
you never know. Unless you
Mm.
see it, you
Continue,
saw it on
continue
the
while I'm
yeah,
looking it up.
yeah. So it's like so I believe that's actually what I was saying. I believe that that's the reason why they are, or Jay-Z went liquid, or one of the reasons. It can be either that, or it could be that he has financial problems himself and needs the cash to pay off debt. That's also a possibility, which would mean that he's selling his stocks pennies on the dollar. That can also be the case. But I personally think it's the former, because Jay-Z has shown throughout the years that he knows how to do business. They say so. They say, if it's small money makes small money, big money makes big money. So Jay-Z definitely has big money, and he has shown that he knows how to go from small money to bigger money to bigger money to billion-dollar money. So I think we can expect to see a move.
Definitely, I do think he'll definitely make a move. I mean, well, since we're talking about that, we might as well continue on this is part. Um, it's either he's gonna buy it in smaller companies or big companies, or maybe he's trying to aim for something big,
like a
like NFL team. Word on the street is they trying to get Schneider from the Washington Commanders, also known as the Washington, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, before the name change, the rebrand. NFL's trying to boot the current owner, and maybe Jay-Z is trying to be not the first colored owner, but maybe the first big name, large stake black owner.
Actually, with a big stake, because guys, remember he had a stake in the Brooklyn Nets. Well, in percentage wise, it was not a lot, right? In money wise, it was a lot, of course, because you don't need to own 50% of anything. But the way I don't think it's the way they sold it. Like Jay-Z owns the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, they did it because if you have a Jay-Z, a New Yorker, as a owner, then people would support. But apparently, he didn't have a lot of stocks, and he was or they tried to ridicule him. But I forgot on what show it was where he said, "Yeah, well, if you talk about, I mean, you can look at a percentage, but if you look at the actual amount of the money, then it's actually not." By far, most of you.
1% for 4.5.
1% for
$4.5 million.
He had 1%. Yeah, that's nothing. But the way they broadcasted it, you would think that he had
Part owner. Yeah.
at least 10. You would thought at least.
Yeah. Well, that Russian dude thought differently. By the way, it's resold by now, right?
Yeah, they sold
That's
it.
a different old order.
Yeah,
owner.
they sold. Yeah, he sold it a couple of years ago, I think. Yeah, and the new
Oh no, it wasn't
owner.
even. Wait a second. I'm finding the real. It wasn't not even 1%. It was 0.15%.
Yeah.
It's even worse than one.
But for 4.5.
Let me see. Jesus. 0.15. Mm. Well, he sold it to Jason Kidd, so probably it wasn't that much. I cannot find the actual amount. Say here the word. I need to start paying Forbes.
Guess so.
They had I have all the no-name brand website that have numbers on it. They have here, some have Forbes claimed that Jay-Z owns 0.066%, valued at 350. Others have mentioned he owns 0.2%. Oh, that's 2 million. It's all over the place. So I cannot confirm the exact amount. Guys, let us know in the chat, in the comments, how much it actually is. Because it seems to me like it's somewhere between the 300,000 and 2 million. Somewhere. Have you found anything?
Oh no.
Okay. But it's somewhere in that range.
But yeah, but I mean the exact amount. So just the bottom of the line is that
It wasn't a month.
he,
It wasn't a lot.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say
You're the
I
number.
feel about it, but
Yes, so you're the number guy. So I let you to figure out the details. But it wasn't. To me, that's not the essence. As a lawyer, I always say, well, you need to find the report. Tell me what the, let's say if there's a financial aspect, I always say, let me know from your from an accountant or your bookkeeper what the number is, and I can work with it. I don't need to calculate it myself.
okay.
So
Can you count? That's how everyone says that who cannot count or who cannot read. Read it for me. Wow, you cannot read. I want to say a name. But I like the guy too much. Should I say the name?
no, let it go, man.
You know who I'm gonna say. I already know who I'm gonna say. I like
Let
the
it
guy
go,
too
let
much.
it go,
He
let
was-
it go.
he-
Let it
he-
go, let it go.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I want him. I want him on the show one day, man. So
Okay. He's a great guy though. You might be right on that one. You have to
yes,
burn the bridge before the bridge is built.
yeah. We burned it before we got there. No, but
Oh,
yeah. So maybe he wants a bigger stake. Oftentimes, you see when people want to acquire NFL teams or other big purchases, they often group up as well, right? So that also might be something. But maybe so I think as a investor, you want to move up as much as possible. So if you want to start at 1% for 4.5 million, for example, then you do that. And people will ridicule you, but that 4.5 can turn into 9 in a couple of years or 7 or whatever. You take it out, you invest in something, maybe you get 5% in that company.
no, you
So-
gotta keep.
Yeah. So maybe,
Exactly.
yeah. So we don't know what his ultimate plan is, but if he decides to buy NFL team or any other big purchase, he might be in the position now to get an even bigger stake.
Let's hope he buys the Commanders, or maybe it's gonna be a joint venture with Bezos. Bezos has also been rumored to be interested in the
But
in
the
Washington Commanders.
But the Commanders, though,
Dude,
is Washington
all NFL
is
teams are
Washington a
making
big
money.
market?
All
What it-
NFL teams are making money. Some are making hand over fist. I have to say, Washington is. I don't know. Let me see how much their revenue is over the year.
Because by far the best, the most lucrative team is the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then the Patriots. And after that, there was a bunch of them that are making good money as well. But those are not on sale. So you gotta get what you can get
Yeah.
as an owner. A lot of these teams are not on sale. The other one that might be on sale in the future is Chargers, but that family allegedly is broke. Allegedly, or there
Yeah.
is infeuding. So you know how that goes. And when there's infeud, people don't agree, and the money starts moving around, or they
Yeah.
don't want to spend money, and that turns into a bigger problem.
Yeah. Every family has an Antonio Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are right now. If you look at, I'm on.
You share the screen?
Yes, I'm gonna share my screen right away. So you have the Dallas Cowboys around the 8 billions. Jerry Jones. If you Jerry Jones story is amazing, dude. If you hear if you just look back at it, the guy over leveraged to buy the Cowboys. In the beginning, he didn't have apparently he didn't have the money to pay the electric bill for some of his some of the buildings they had on the camp.
Wow.
He really over leveraged, but look at him now. 8 billion, the biggest.
Yeah.
Rams the third, Patriots second with 6.4, and the Commanders at 5.6.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
They have a revenue of 544 and operating income of 130. But there's a big difference though. Look at this. They have an operating income of 466.
Yeah. And a revenue of 1 billion.
1 billion. I gotta love Jerry, man. Gotta love Jerry. But yeah, so this is one of the things that he might be venturing into, or another company he might want to buy up.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue to see what else Earn Your Leisure has to say about this.
He still has a large stake in the company. Like I said, 24.9%. If he did, right? So they still have the majority. But now Bacardi owns 75.1% of DUsse.
What would that be worth in 8 years off of his name?
Right. Or if the numbers show, like they settled at 3 billion allegedly or reportedly, but what if it was 5
or 7?
Right.
And we know during the Depression, alcohol consumption goes up. They're still going to use his likeness in some way to promote the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if that brand in 4 or 5 years isn't worth $12 or $13 billion. And all of a sudden, there was some kind of accounting error to value it at 1.5 or 1.7.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's going to promote it, right? It's not like he still doesn't have ownership in it.
Yeah.
Right? We at the brunch, DUsse is sponsoring it.
Yeah.
Right? So the brand will live on. Obviously,
It's just like the Florida deal.
Yep.
Florida is still part owner of Celsius.
Yeah.
He even said after the lawsuit that he wants to continue promoting the brand.
Of course.
I mean, you're a part owner, so you should want the best for your money.
Business is
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, business is business. So why would you step on the company that you still own? You partially still own. So yeah.
Yep. That I agree with you, man. It doesn't make any sense to be emotional and all that stuff. I mean, business is business. You gotta keep making money and you keep promoting. Got to make that 750 million you have left in the stake in the company. You gotta make it $1 billion.
Yeah. At least.
At least.
I mean, if it goes to $12 billion valuation in a couple of years, then that would mean that he has how much? 3? 1. So
Yeah,
he
three,
would still have
yeah.
25% of 3 billion.
Yeah.
You see, I can count.
You started, and then you had it right. So
I calculated it first. No, I'm just kidding.
oh man,
dude.
Yeah. Just,
oh man. Let's see what else the guys at Earn Leaser have to say about this.
He still has a stake. He's an owner, so why wouldn't you promote it? It still generates revenue for you.
It's tricky though, because like I hate when these valuation games get played with us in particular, and I guarantee in a year they're gonna reevaluate the company. Is going to be worth a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, but and so shout out, and again, kudos to Jay and the whole team, right? So if you look at it, last year they made the move with LVMH,
Yes,
but Ace of Spades to have be part of that luxury company, and we saw the numbers that did. And so DUsse was something that kind of was birthed after that. But you can over. I mean, that's
still a win.
It's still a big win, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want Black entrepreneurs to get lower valuations and then Meta's valued at what it's worth. And if I have to ask you who's a more impactful CEO, Jay-Z or Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going with Jay every time. Let Jay have that slot at Meta for 2 years and let's see what it does. I know what it would do.
Well, impact.
Absolutely. Like relift the Instagram, relift the Facebook, all the content, it would be dramatically different. So like I hate that they devalue what the brand was really worth while he's there. But don't get me wrong, 750 is a win.
That's on a conservative low end.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, again, you want to do something great. True greatness is, can you do it twice? You did it with Ace of Spades.
That's true.
Now I did it with DUsse.
Yeah.
What's to say you can't do it again?
But shit, you have to.
No.
Yeah.
But you could.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hove.
Yeah. Anything you want to say about that? The last part?
it's clear. I'm more interested in seeing what Jay-Z's next move will be, and that's definitely something to keep an eye out for.
Talking about next move, some people made the next move and are going down. I don't
That's
have the going down. I don't have the going down sound.
That's a good segue.
Hey man, I'm getting better at this stuff, man. I'm
You
getting
need
better.
you need the going. So I can try to. If you want, I can do it on the fly. A sound bite on the fly. I did not have intercourse with that woman.
Well, I do not.
Shout
I
out to
don't know
Bill
if-
Clinton. Shout out to Bill Clinton.
We'll never know if it was all.
Ice Cube.
We'll never know. The bill, we don't want to know. Allegedly.
Allegedly, we don't want to know.
Well, no. I put the allegedly on the wrong sentence. I mean, the allegedly is before that.
Yeah.
If it was Ice Cube or not. But some people are going down. Adidas dropped Kanye after his how can I say this? After going crazy. No, I'm just kidding. After he went on a rant for a week. He didn't only thank himself, but he also thanked Adidas. He went for himself. He went from 2.5 billion worth to 500, back to 500. While Adidas dropped him because of the majority of his equity or his valuation was based on his Adidas deal. Adidas was also hurt during that process. They dropped him. They had still some inventory left of their Yeezy deal. And they thought they could finesse the market. They basically thought, let's keep releasing the Yeezy shoes and get,
Free money! Free money!
because we don't have to pay Kanye anymore. But it was inverse. No one was buying anything.
Yeah.
They probably shipping it now. Oh my god, my brain is crazy. I'm gonna guys, don't judge me for me
Come on, man. Just
finishing
do it.
that sentence. They're probably going to ship these Yeezys off to Africa, man.
Maybe. Well, what did Kanye said? Didn't he say? Because how much? No, wait. How much did Kanye lose allegedly?
2.5. something like that.
2.5.
So 2 billion, 2 billion.
From this deal solely, or from all his deals?
Well, for all his deal together, but
Yeah.
a majority was from this deal of that 2 billion.
Well, Kanye did say that when she leave your ass, she gonna leave with half. Guess that was also a metaphor.
That is true. Gold digger,
Yeah.
classic song, classic song. I mean, guys, it's painful for Adidas, but keep an eye out. You might get the cheap Yeezys. They might go for $10.
The cheesies.
Adidas might be selling them for $10 instead of the 200 they think they can sell it for.
If Adidas is selling them for $10, then they're not Adidas.
On the outlet store, Adidas outlet store, they're probably gonna sell a bunch of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you want to, so where you want to take this conversation, but I did see a very interesting discussion. I'm not sure if this was also from the Earn Your Leisure channel, by the way. I think it was, but they were referring to Adidas making wrong moves because saying that yay. So the difference between Adidas and Nike is that Adidas gives a lot of people, athletes, for example, their own brands, right? Their own shoes.
Mm-hmm.
While Nike makes brand ambassador deals with athletes. So, for example, you have certain shoes from certain players, but the shoes aren't selling because the players people aren't attracted to buying their shoes, their custom shoes.
I see what you're doing there. You didn't name no names.
I didn't. Well, that's more because I don't know. I'm not a sneakerhead, so I don't.
Okay,
so
okay.
I think
That's what they always say.
No, because for example, yeah, I think perhaps Devin Booker had one. I want to say Dame Lillard. I'm not sure, but these are all very good players, but people don't necessarily feel that they need to buy their brands like they would buy a Jordan, right? And Yeezy was the only person that was affiliated to Adidas that people wanted to buy the shoes from, or at least they wanted to buy his shoes. You get what I'm saying? But what Nike does is Nike comes out with a shoe and lets athletes wear and promote that shoe, but it's not the athlete's specific branded shoe.
Except for Jordan.
Well, so there are exceptions, of course. Not there are more. I think,
LeBron
but,
as well, right?
So there are more. But what I'm saying is that they don't do it to the extent. So their strategy is more catered towards brand affiliations with a couple of branded shoes, while Adidas is more focused on giving as much people as possible their own shoes. Just to break, it's not necessarily like that, but just to make it more understandable. And so if that's your strategy and you lose your biggest partnership,
Man, I think they really thought they could finesse the market.
yeah.
I think they really thought they could, because the thing is, as soon as they cut the ties, they said like a week later, oh, we're going to continue selling these Yeezys. So guys, Don't get it twisted. They will be still in the stores, but it will show Adidas on it instead of Yeezys. I guess it doesn't. It is what it is. Some people win, some people lose, and this time around,
Some people cry.
well, Adidas is crying, Kanye as well. I think.
I think they're all crying. Yeah. It was a tough breakup. It was mutual. They feel-
That's what really true. She took half. What a L. Anyway, guys. So basically, before we continue, thanks for watching to everyone who's watching right now. If you're following the show, this live broadcast or the rebroadcasting, please press on like. And don't forget to subscribe. Share it. I'm gonna keep the share for later in the show. Or you can do whatever you want to. Guys, just press the like and share the video with others. Spread the word. RJ, do you have anything else you want to discuss relating to this Jay-Z deal, or Kanye, or Adidas, or someone else crying?
No, I don't. I think the moral of the story is that you need to put, and I think that's what Jay-Z did and Ye didn't. Adidas, I don't think Adidas did it either. But in business, you need to put your ego aside. Think logical. Think to yourself what the best move is for you. Don't take. You can always. So what we can learn from the Jay-Z Bacardi story is that, one, don't be afraid to challenge information provided to you. Second of all, don't only talk the talk, but also walk the walk. So don't threaten if you're not willing to go through with it. So if Jay-Z wasn't ready to go to court, if he had only kept on whining, saying, no, this is not true, this is not true, this is not true, then this deal never would have happened the way it did. They probably would have maintained their story. They would have kept their stance about the valuation of the company. So you need to show that you're willing to push to get what you deserve. And in all situations, staying rational. The guys from Earn Your Leisure said, yeah, maybe if he would have proceeded with the court, with the investigation, they could have found out that the company is perhaps valued higher. However, what he did that was real smart was he got 75 million out and remained with about 25%, so he can still get more money in the future. So if he gets 750 now, and in 10 years he decides to sell his shares and he can get 3 billion for the others, then he got more in total than he would have gotten if he had, than what he probably would have gotten, because we don't know all the information, of course. But then he probably would have gotten if he had took out everything today.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot to think about, guys. But I think, just to me, that's the moral of the story. Stay logical and think about your next moves as well. That's all I wanted to add to the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, very, very valid point you're making there. And that's probably the reason also why he decided not to sell the full 50% to keep 25 up for future increase. Because I mean, dude, in a couple of years, like you said already, it's gonna increase. It's gonna increase anyway. So maybe in 3 years or 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you might be selling it for 3 billion.
Yeah.
Then Blue can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Is that the recap?
Well, that can be the recap because it's a good recap.
Guys, let us know in the chat. Oh, I keep saying chat in the comments. What you think about this this deal? Do you think it's a fair deal? Do you think they lowballed Jay-Z? Do you think Jay-Z got the upper hand in this deal? Let us know in the chat. Let us also know in the chat. I keep saying chat, man.
Just keep saying chat.
Anyway, I keep saying chat. Let us know what the next move, what you think the next move of Jay-Z will be. RJ said is maybe for more for deals in the future. Maybe he's going to buy some stake in different companies. I suggested maybe he's trying to stack up the money so we can buy a share in an NFL team and become the first African American, well, American black owner, majority or a large portion owner of an NFL team. He's not. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. But let us know what you think.
Yeah. So, KaiR, should I close it?
Yeah, we can. You can.
All right. Guys, thanks for everyone watching this pre-recorded live show, as well as those watching the rebroadcast. Whatever your thoughts are, whatever your thoughts are, please remember to let us know. Put it in the comment section below, as KaiR just said, so we can have a conversation, discuss it. If we're wrong, please tell us where you think that we're wrong. If you have something to add to the conversation, feel free to do it. If you're a troll, feel free to comment. It helps us with the algorithm. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms at Double Touch Show on both Instagram and Facebook. Remember as well, guys, to subscribe to our channel. It really helps us with the algorithm. We want to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of June of this year. So please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. And last but not least, remember to share this video with your friends. Share it with your family. But perhaps more importantly, share it with
El enemigo.
the enemy. And guys, as KaiR always says at the end of the show,
But I can only show you the door.
You have to walk through it and just make sure you don't get lowballed by any of these companies.
yeah, that's very specific. Let's have a healthy conversation, guys. Until next time, take care. Peace.
Peace.